Welcome to Too Stupid for Web3, the show that makes sure you don't end up like me, too stupid to win. Each week, I bring on sharp minds from across the Web3 world to break things down in a way that actually makes sense. I'm looking to bridge the Web3 experience, crypto experience, and make it mainstream. Help make that transfer. Whether you're just getting started or already deep in it, we've got you covered with crypto news, Web3 insights, Upland updates, and straight up real talk. This week, our guest will be discussing building brands in Web3. I'm really excited to have that conversation with this individual. As you can see, I had to dress up. This guy's a very dapper dresser, so I always got to at least try to be on the same level with them. So I broke out my nice gear for him, and also I didn't think that we would have the winner circle with Mass Chef this year early. I thought I had a couple more weeks to put some graphics in, but I do have Mass Chef. We'll highlight a pre-winner circle. I'll get the graphics and the videos for that, but he's got some amazing news with the Ultimate Racing League. So we'll definitely check it out. Stay tuned. And by the end of the show, hopefully you get a little smarter than me. And really, it's not that hard. So it was great to be back last week. Thanks for everybody that reached out with all your comments and how they enjoyed the show. Had a blast. It was awesome having X1 here with us. Now, I also got a lot of comments from people saying that they really appreciated having X1 on and the way that we had the conversation. It showed a different side of X1. It's not the way that we always used to interact with X1. He was talking more about what he does outside of Upland. So I know people appreciated seeing that side of X1. So real fun time and got a lot to cover. I'm going to try to make sure my guests, I love talking to X1 that long. And if this guest goes long too, that's all right. I'm still trying to refine this process, but I do have some interesting stories in the crypto realm and then also in the Web3 gaming realm. And Upland was a lot of announcements coming out of Upland as we're moving into sizzle season there. So we'll see what's going on. Also, if you haven't had the chance to check it out, where I got too many tabs open. I need more monitors is really what I need. I definitely need more monitors as I think it is the solution to it. But yes, if you haven't been able to check these out yet, here is the schedule for all the Upland creators. Definitely last night was Meant to Be podcast. Today is Too Stupid for Web3. And don't forget to check out Upland After Dark. And then we roll back into next week. So these guides are out there. So you can definitely tune into everything happening. Definitely check that out. Also, I got that. I took care of that. All right, look, I'm on a pretty good roll. So we'll go right into it, and we will do the winner circle with Mass Chef. I haven't even had a sip of my whiskey, and I'm stumbling over my words. I get maybe that might be the issue. So we'll see if that helps. What's up, Mass?
What is going on, my friend? Good to see you again. Hope everybody's having an awesome summer.
Yeah, great to see you. Been a minute, my friend.
It has been a minute, but that's all right. We got lots of stuff going on, and super excited to see you, and super excited for the new show, man. It was awesome. I had to watch the recording of last week's, but it was a great show, and very excited for it, and excited to be highlighting the winner circle.
Yeah, I don't know why we never thought of it beforehand. But it was just like, oh, we'll have Mass on. We sponsor the Ultimate Racing League, blah, blah, blah. And never thought to make something special of it. And as I was working on rebranding and what I'm going to do, I was like,
yeah, right.
It was right in front of us.
It was super appropriate and worked out well. So I can't wait. It's awesome.
So hopefully I get some neat graphics and some cool stuff to premiere the winner circle when we get racing back underway.
Yeah, right. We've got a little ways to go. I'm sure everybody saw the announcement today that came out of Upland with partnering up with the Ultimate Racing League for the upcoming Championship Series racing. Not going to start racing until harvest season because we have a ton of work to do in the background to get everything ready for the new season and kind of the new way of doing things. But I'm ultra excited about it. Can't wait to get started.
No, that. Can you give us a little detail of how this big announcement happened?
So, we actually have been,
But
yeah, we've been talking about this for quite some time. That's myself and Upland. We started kind of the chit chat conversation just before blossom season, last blossom season. And it's just kind of progressed since then. We talked a couple of times throughout the Genesis season, and then just kind of was able to finalize things just a few days ago. So, but I am super excited. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be running the championship series just like we pretty much usually do. We're bringing team racing into the champion series in Upland. So it's going to be really, really exciting. I honestly can't say a whole lot more about it just yet. We've got a lot of work that we're trying to do, and just to try to make it the best that it can be when we get to open up in harvest season.
yeah, nice. Now, when you run your streams, do you show all the comments yourself while doing everything else, or do you have somebody helping you?
So I actually have because I have Antman89 who co-hosts with me, and it's his job to run comments and do that sort of thing. I actually started doing the if you go up into the comment section on your StreamYard, you can actually do they have a beta
Yeah, you can run it on the
now where you can
screen.
run it on the screen. So we started doing that a little bit because it just got a little crazy. There's good and bad with that because you can get you get the bad comments along with the good ones, so you can't really necessarily highlight the ones. But honestly, it to me it doesn't really matter because you got to take the good and the bad with everything that you do. So not everybody is going to be happy. Not everybody is going to have something good to say. So I don't really expect that. But we just, in case anybody hasn't caught the announcement on the Ultimate Racing League server this afternoon that I put up, Crypto Gerbs is going to be joining the URL team as our new statistician starting in harvest season when we open racing back up. So he's going to be running all the live stats and stuff for us during the show. So we're super excited to have him on board and helping us with the show. So that was ultra cool.
Now, as people are joining the team, do you have them go through racing commentator school to get that racing voice or that pit boss voice, or is there some sort of training for that?
No, honestly, I've been working at it my whole life, so I'm not sure I would be able to train people to do that. Ant-Man's a little bit green, but that's I like that because it brings kind of an extra little flair. You can't always sound professional and be professional, and things always happen, and it's nice to have a little bit of flavor on the show. So Ant-Man does an awesome job. I'm super glad to have him as a co-host, and it's going to be awesome to have Crypto Gerbs on with us as well. So we're bringing the team together. It's going to be great.
No, excited for that. Congratulations. That's a huge announcement. So excellent job there, Mass. It's the hard work that you've put in over the years, and then everybody in the racing community that started building a racing community before there were cars.
Yeah, and honestly, I just want to give a huge shout out to everybody who has supported us, from the drivers, especially the drivers, because URL wouldn't be anything without them. So a huge shout out to everybody who's driven in the URL, who's run seasons with us. I can't thank you enough for all the hard work and showing up and being there and just having a good time with it. And also, other leaders of the community who have really supported us all the way through, from you guys to Elijah, and there's so many of them, JR Wheels, that are just, they've been in the URL community since it started, and they've supported it all the way through. And so it's honestly, this whole thing is due to all of them. and the support that they've put into the Ultimate Racing League.
Nice. Yes. Awesome. Congratulations once again. Thank you so much for stopping through to talk about that. And
absolutely, and I cannot wait to get going with the racing, so we can come back on the weekly basis and give updates and make sure everybody knows what's happening and have a good time.
Oh, absolutely. All right, Mass, take care. Enjoy the rest of your summer, and
all right,
we'll
brother.
Talk soon.
You too, man. Great to see you again.
All right.
We'll see you.
See ya. Awesome. Mass Chef, congratulations there with the huge news. Usually there he goes. All right. Usually you pull yourself off. So I was just waiting and waiting. I'm like, awkward. All right. Yes, absolutely. All right, we'll jump right in, get our next guest going on. A lot of you know him. He's been a fixture in the community that we come from, and man, it sounds like the doors are wide open behind me because I just hear kids. What is going on? I don't even know how to fix that. Usually I have thank me later and be like, all right, I'll be right back. Why I go get them quiet? We'll text my wife and say, hey, what's going on? Give me 1 second. All right. We'll find out what happens there. All right. As I was saying, you got to love broadcasting live during summer break. You never know what happens there. As I was saying, really looking forward to this next guest. People are pretty familiar with him. He was a player of the year in Upland in 2024. So, yeah, the one and only Elijah Juda. How we doing, Elijah?
Hey, what up, Upland? I didn't mean to blow your eardrums out with that, but hey, what up, everybody? Thanks for having me out. How you doing tonight?
Good. That's on my list. I got to get my soundboard like you going on. I need more sound effects.
That's cool. But don't tempt me, man. I'm almost tempted to press some more buttons. Don't tempt me. I'm trying to control
go
myself.
for
it.
You
know how we used to do in the cafe Discord.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah, reason I asked you on it as I'm looking to help mainstream, Web3, the gaming, the crypto, helping it become more accessible, acceptable, and people getting the understanding. And through the years, what you've done with the Real Node LA, it's just not in Upland. You've built something out, and I thought this would be a perfect time to sit down, talk with you about brand vision and strategy, building in the metaverse, not just one, multiple metaverses, designer and user experience, talking about building your community, and ideas for advice for newcomers, and what they can do if they're interested in stuff like that. So I thought you'd be the perfect person to talk about this.
Hey, well, I'm glad that you brought up that topic. I think that's a good topic. Shout out to everybody in the audience watching. I see the shout outs, and shout out to Mass Chef because he's been pushing along with it was the Upland Racing League and now the Ultimate Racing League, and they have rebranded and grown like a caterpillar butterfly scenario. So similarly, when you said I built the Real Node LA, no, we built the Real Node LA. Everybody that owns a property over there, even if you haven't built on it yet, just for you owning the property and it's minted. Step one was minting out the area. I couldn't mint out 7,900 properties by myself.
Right.
Actually, El Sereno, Los Angeles has more than 2,000 unique owners over there. So there's quite a few owners in El Sereno. And I think that's what it starts with bringing a bunch of people to the area. You need a large area. And then once you get to build it in the area, you look for people that are doing things and you work with them in their brand. Just naming some brands, you have Taz Tafari's brand, which is Listen to Your Talent. Blue Rain has her brand over there. Digi has his brand over there. You got racetracks over there. I mean, it's booming. It's a booming community where people are building their brands. So that's what I like to help out the community to do that. Now, whatever it is, whether it's giving them, connecting them with Upland ready assets, that's a group in Upland that can turn your JPEG images into basically an NFT that's compatible to Upland. So that's the first bridge is to how can they take their PNG images or their JPEG images, or to say it plainly, how can they take the photos out their phone and turn that into something in Upland? And they need a connection point there to make them kind of understand it. And I know Upland Ready Assets is one of quite a few people that can actually do that. Shout out to everybody that do that. I know I think I saw Charles FR in the audience. He's a designer.
Yeah.
You know, Shaq and a bunch of people are manufacturers in Upland. So you definitely got to build up the community and not spread yourself too thin. Spreading yourself too thin, you know, when you spread yourself too thin, you won't see any visual results like you want to see them. If you spread yourself thin, you have to make that. If you've already spread yourself thin, then you have to make those areas impactful. Not by continuing to spread yourself thin, but by revisiting the stuff that you already have, making sure that your portfolio is 100% built out with some good stuff, and then have some map assets and vehicles on it. So that takes time. So just building one, you know, a little bit at a time, and building the community up along the way.
Oh yeah. Now, what inspired you to build a brand in the metaverse, and how did you choose the platform or platforms to use?
Well, I came in the metaverse, and I'm revisiting that now. And I actually went out for the first time in a long time and flew my drone today for fun. And I got some gorgeous footage. It was so nice. I had to show it to the people there fishing because I was near the water. And I just walked up to a fellow I was talking to. He had his fishing pole. I was like, look at this. He was like, man. And I'm thinking the whole time, I'm taking that to the metaverse, man. But so that's what it kind of comes down to. Remember what you before you got into Upland, what were you really into? You know, I like photography and videography, but flying a drone is that's on another level. So I wanted to bring that experience into Upland, especially since it's you know, it's tough getting a FAA Part 107 license. That's a commercial drone license. I do have that, but that was tough. So when you just to shortcut everybody from having to do that, let's get some of the visuals into the metaverse. So that's what made me want to bring my brand into the metaverse. My company's name is My Lasting Memories, but we had to get a DBA, doing business as the Real Node LA. So my company blossomed into the Real Node LA as far as the business aspect. We had that trademark, and just you have to bring a real business aspect. See,
Uh-oh. Okay.
you
You're
lost me
back.
for a second. Where'd you
Yep,
lose
you're
me?
back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You said,
Okay.
yeah, I didn't lose you for long, the last 4 seconds.
Okay. All right. Cool. So basically, Upland is a digital replicant of the real world. So in the real world, you have to do business things like go to your state agency and register your business name, different things like that, file your taxes, and you know, different business moves. So those same activities spill over into this atmosphere, or they're beginning to, or have the potential to, all of them at the same time.
Oh yeah. Now, what were some of your biggest challenges you faced when you were getting started, and how'd you overcome them?
Well, some of the most obvious challenges are what I would say is rolling with the punches of Upland. Upland throws some punches at you, bro. You're not you're not paying attention. You might get a jab. You can't get knocked out over a jab. Now, some people might get
Right.
knocked out over a jab. That means one little thing go wrong at Upland, they quit and they go into Discord and tell everybody, "I'm done with this place." You know, you don't get knocked out over a jab. So you have to be able to roll with the punches because Upland is a business too. They're growing and changing as the need goes. So you know, you get a hook or uppercut, you got to be able to roll with the punches. That's where the term comes from. You know, and remember your goal is to bring this product from the real world into this digital space, get brand recognition, as well as probably get some sales if possible.
Yeah. And speaking of brand recognition, how do you define your brand in a virtual space, and how does that differ from traditional branding?
It doesn't. That's the thing. I don't know why they think you would think wherever you're branding your business, it's gonna be the same, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, Upland, or at the corner store. You're gonna need some colorful visuals and something that pops, you know. So it's the same in a digital space. It is not different. You have it could be a little bit easier sometimes because it's not physical, but you have to brand your business in this space. People that brand their business, they stand out. Like just thinking, like you got Wolf Warner, Shackleton. These people brand. You got Mass Chef. You could just say their name, and then what they do kind of stands out. Um, and even and people are part of the real node, but they have their own brand. So just because you're a part of the real node, you say that person's name, they still would stand out. Their brand stands out.
No,
Did I answer your
absolutely.
question?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was spot on, and yeah. Now, how do you approach, because if you haven't gone to Upland's Genesis Week, Elijah and his teams put together some pretty cool VR experiences. Um, how do you approach designing immersive experiences that reflect your brand and identity?
Um, I would say not to have too many of them because everybody can't be in every room all the time. Try to minimize. We're learning to minimize and bring it, kind of bring it back to the core areas that you need. How many different virtual spaces do you need? Um, the point is to have a potent experience when you're there. We first started out in something called, it was not spatial. It was before spatial. I can't even think of the name. Shout out to Kiro. I think Kiro may have put us onto it, or Dr. Ted. I think Dr. Ted told us about that first space. Um, so then spatial came along, and then nowhere.io came along. And I think we're going back to spatial because, to be honest with you, spatial did not stop grinding. We took a pause from them. We kept our spaces. I even kept my premium account, but spatial, they kept growing those virtual spaces. So the crisp appeal to it looks good. You can bring in your assets to those spaces. I would say if you have a virtual space, and also we're doing VR Horizon World. But if you have a virtual space, um, get your images, learn how to use some sort of photo editor. I use Photoshop or Adobe Express, which is a small derivative of Photoshop online, but be able to shrink your pictures down without losing resolution, meaning shrink the size of the image down. But when you put it into these virtual spaces, it's a massive image, but it's not a massive 900 megabyte size image or gigabytes and stuff like that. You don't want to crash your virtual space. Too many large files will crash your space. So that's one lesson I have to pass on to the next generation. That
You put
the
in
large
super
and
massive files in and everything just crash
yes,
on you and start, "Oh, I'm gonna make this look super cool," and like, "Oh, this looks so good," and then
yep, or it just won't load and just so many issues. So reduce those file size.
now, something you have talked about here is, you've incorporated, you have to file your taxes, you're paying for premium services, you're doing a good job of community building. Is there the discussion of, monetization, how when you're building your brand, what's the fine balance between community building your brand along with monetization to help keep you afloat? Because sooner or later you want to break even at least.
Well, that's a wise question, and of course, if I come this far, I certainly would have thought about that too. So thinking about monetization, especially in we have our upland assets, but we have events as well. So monetizing the events and not necessarily monetizing and charging people to get in, but we want to bring brands here. And when we bring brands into Upland, we want to provide an opportunity for them to display their stuff. And that's already ready for them at the Real Node LA. But they will be able to showcase their product during our events. And how does that help the community? Well, a big portion of the fee that's paid by the vendor would go to the event. So let's say if we're having an event and we can get Ego Lawn Care Service, that's a battery powered lawn care company. We can get Ego, shout out to them, to put their logo up in the theater. How would they sponsor? Let's say if it costs a certain amount, that would be divvied out to the people that participated. So beforehand, we would have a structured list of participants, whether it's the host, somebody that's promoting, things like that. So we're getting back to all of that. We're getting back to layer one. Layer one, that makes it fun. That makes it it locks everything in. It makes you trust people a little bit more if they have access to layer one, which is, I'm sorry, let me say that the right way. The Upland map, which is you see behind me, we call that layer one. That's just a map of the U.S. of Los Angeles, El Sereno, Los Angeles. So we're getting back to focusing on the map, enhancing the map, things that are on the map, events, racing, map assets, things like that. So that's what's at the core right now of brand building and just getting the community map together.
Nice. What advice would you give someone trying to turn a virtual brand into a real business?
Okay. You have to think about it that if you have a virtual brand, you have a real business. You just haven't registered it yet. Think of it like that. You haven't finished registering it yet. So you don't have to make money to, register your business and get it going. You just have to set the parameters in place.
Yep. Absolutely.
If you have a brand and you're calling it this and the third, first get your website, get your trademark, things like that.
Yep. Now, where do you see the biggest opportunity right now for creators and entrepreneurs in the metaverse?
You're saying in the greater part of the metaverse or the Upland metaverse?
Just the greater part of the metaverse. Where do you see the biggest opportunities right now for creators and entrepreneurs?
I see branding opportunities, meaning there's so much open space right now. To give you an example, we're bringing Horizon Worlds into Upland. We've already done it. It's already in Upland. If you click a purple dot that says the Real Node, you'll be in. You can access it. But when you get into that, that's the Los Angeles City Park. That's a real VR park that's tied into the park that we're building in the Real Node for the mayor's contest. So I want to bring a VR park to that, and that'll allow competition. Like we can race for upics, like race differently, or play basketball, like virtual basketball. Really moving your hand and shooting shots and playing and utilizing our upics in other ways because we can send directly to each other in game. So if you owe somebody some upics, you owe some upics.
Right.
So
Now,
just create opportunities to use it in a different way.
yeah. Now, do you handle your own AR development or are you collaborating and working with a team?
I started the AR development and then I brought on, I think there's about 8 collaborators in Upland that accepted the invite. I sent out a mass invite, remembering that there's other node builders that are part of the Real Node LA. The Real Node is a super node. Many different nodes are here. They're their own people. So even different node members are in this Los Angeles City Park as a collaborator. The reason being is that it's a Los Angeles City Park. It's not the Real Node Park or something like. It's the whole city of Los Angeles. It's the first park. So it's for everybody. KO Ninja and the Hyde Park Ninjas, Obi-Wan, Metaverse Millen, Granada Hills, Century City, you know, people like, and then the stakeholders of Los Angeles, which would be anybody that manufactures or owns a store in LA.
Yeah. I was going to do it, and I bought a big property and put a service structure on to help the hood out. So I'll get a shop up and running there sooner or later.
You don't have a
I don't
show
have a
up?
shop. Nope.
Man, come on, we gotta get your metaventure, man. They
Yeah.
Upland approving metaventures in like a
Oh, I
day.
know it's super easy nowadays. It's great. I had smaller properties. I got my 3. I swept the floor pretty good. Got a deal on those under mint. I was like, yes, got in there. And then I just got we were chatting, and I got a bigger property to put a grocery store on that. And then I got that up, or supermarket. I got that up and running for, got
Can I
that
say one
building.
thing?
Yeah.
My bad, Obi-Wan in the audience, man. Shout out to Obi-Wan. Did I not say Robot City? Did I miss? See, I hate when
You
I
missed
miss
Robot
somewhere.
City.
I miss Robot City.
You did.
Shout out to Obi-Wan, man. So we got stakeholders. I'll bring you to El Sereno, man. We got to get your micro showroom or something, man. So we got to get you up
No,
and running.
I don't. I'll get another big property. I don't do micros. I
Okay,
go
all right.
big.
We got to get you up and running, though, man. Get your
Yes,
metaverse up and running.
For sure. And it's coming close to Halloween time, so everybody's got to get their spooky dookie decorations. I got to get those. What's one thing you wish you knew before you started this whole thing?
There's a lot of things I could have done to save myself some money along the way. But I think it was a good decision to deal with Upland as far as my NFT needs and things like virtual property needs and stuff like that. I like the way that the manufacturing process makes their NFTs a little bit more authentic to me. I think than just bringing, like, imagine like a metaverse world and then everybody just brought in JPEGs and stuff like that. You just have everything replicated, everything be valueless, and it just be not. It wouldn't be a way to. You couldn't make money there, so you wouldn't spend that much time there.
Yeah.
But in this case of Upland, it's kind of like we working and playing a little bit. Not treasure hunting has never been a game, so shout out to the treasure hunters. That's not playing, but
those guys are some grinders.
That's not a game at all.
Yeah. Now that kind of leads into this. If someone had an idea for a brand, how can they validate it in the metaverse before going all in?
Oh, they can do like I said, this is the Upland models the real world. So you just use real world strategies and in a real world strategy, they would do like test markets or market sampling. So same thing here. You would test the market out and see who's feeling you or not. Let me give you another example of a brand, Rolling Through Legits. He posts images of his brand all the time, and that's how people get familiar with your brand is just by you just kind of putting it out there. Don't get yourself kicked out of a chat by spamming people too much and stuff like that. But Upland has places where you can post your brand that's in Upland, and you can draw and create a buzz around it. Post it in the community projects tab in the Upland, and you can really brand in there. And that's how you can tell whether people are feeling you or not. If you want to test it out in the real world, post it on Twitter and see what they say. And you want to try it again, post it on Facebook or Instagram. So there's ways that you can really test and see if people are feeling your brand. But brand builders don't usually have to do that. Man, if you got a brand and it's appropriate and it ain't derogatory, don't run with it. Now, if it's kind of derogatory and got some issues with it, then you know what's going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. One thing for brands, man. Upland, it overall, just even the company is family friendly. So keep that in mind when you're building your brand. Like the overall company is family friendly, sort of deal. So they don't go too wild. Don't go too wild. Don't go dark web on them with the with the stuff.
Yeah. Don't go dark web. No, and you know, I really appreciate all your insights, and some of them, you know, I bet you we've encouraged somebody today to start something in a metaverse platform, because it can be intimidating for things that you don't know. And you broke it down nice and simple so people can really understand, you know, for the vets that have been doing it for a minute, it's, you know, we're understanding it. We figure it out in second nature now. But for the people that are, oh, I think I got this idea, I'm not really sure. Hopefully that inspired somebody today with our conversation. So I really appreciate, you know, you breaking it down nice and simple so people don't feel overwhelmed.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. This is a good conversation.
Oh, absolutely. Little different from the old show I was on, but
I had some good times on that show, man. But I'm glad to see that you know, as a matter of fact, man, you look sharp today. How could we ignore the fact that you got dressed up, clean, you clean today, ain't he, y'all? Give him a shout out. Put a number 7 in the comments if he cleaned up today. Let me see.
yeah.
Let me see number 7's wrong here. He cleaned up, got his tuxedo on,
Oh
and
yeah.
he did his thing.
Now the glasses thing though, that is just accident. There's a place up by us called Cedar Point. It's the largest amusement park, has the highest roller coaster, fastest roller coaster, all kinds of fun. First tilt angle roller coaster, crazy stuff, right? We're there all day with the kids, and my son didn't want to ride. My oldest daughter wanted to ride, and it's the oldest wooden roller coaster in the park, and it just beats the snot out of you. I'm like, come on, dude, just ride. And he's like, no. And she's like, Daddy, ride with me. I'm like, just sit there so I can watch you. We get on, I'm watching them through the line. It was a quick line, and watching them, and we're pulling away. I totally forgot to take off my glasses. We start going down the first hill, and they just go up, and away they go. So lost the glasses. So
Oh
wearing the
man.
contacts, and I stopped wearing my contacts for a while because I had to put on reading glasses because of my age. So I'm like, contacts are so I don't have to wear glasses. But I'm like, that's dumb. But I they got smart, and they put in different strength contacts. So now I can read and wear contacts. So I'm liking it.
All right. Okay. I noticed something was different, but okay. Well, the new you. Let's go.
Yeah. No. All right. I I didn't do this with X1, but I was thinking about it on the week as I was prepping for the show. And I just wanted to, you know, we did the lightning round in 31 Uplanders in 31 days, and that was kind of fun. So I kind of thought this or that question, you know, I'm going to give you one or the other, and you tell me which one's your favorite. And I did a little pop culture going back over the years, and just seeing where you're at. And if you don't know one of them, or not down with one of them, you can skip it. You can pass. So,
Okay.
no.
All right. I
All
appreciate it.
right. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Thundercats or Ninja Turtles?
Thunder! 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 Thundercats! Roar!
I had that already on my soundboard ready
Like,
for you.
that is awesome. That was like, you just pulled it right up. That I love it. Coke or Pepsi?
Neither one. I use them to clean off my battery terminals.
Biggie or Tupac?
You know, rest them both. Rest both their souls, man. You know. Yeah.
All right. Domino's or Pizza Hut?
Pizza Hut times 10.
All right. Living single or friends?
We are living a single. You remember that? Okay, yep, that one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Marvel or DC?
Oh, I can't let that. Oh, all right. I'm gonna have to go with my children. Who's Spider-Man with?
Ooh, Marvel? I'm off on it myself.
I think it is Marvel Comics because that's how it comes on. Flipping through the page, the movie comes on Marvel Comics or DC Comics.
Yeah.
It might be. I'm sorry. I don't know. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Yeah. I guess I should have had the answer myself. There we go. Wonderful Google. Spider-Man is Marvel Comics.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. There you go. You see, They got us for us.
Thanks, Mass, and everybody. Thank you.
All right. Batman or Superman?
That's even harder than the last question, man. I used to like Superman, but I think I like Batman now. He's a human.
All right.
Superman is acting kind of Nephilim-ish. We'll go Batman.
All right. Backstreet Boys are in the sink.
Neither. Pass.
Godfather or Goodfellas?
Goodfellas.
Voltron or Power Rangers?
Voltron.
Scooby-Doo or Hong Kong Phooey?
Scooby-Doo.
The Good Samaritan or the Prodigal Son? I switched up to Bible stuff now. We're into the Bible, so Bible stories.
Both.
Both.
I gotta go both on that one.
Last Supper or the Sermon on the Mount?
Both has significant importance. I can't take one without the other. Both.
Revelation or Psalms?
Come on. Both, but the book of Revelations is quite powerful. But both Psalms will get you through some things too. So
absolutely. Peter or Paul?
Peter.
John the Baptist or Elijah?
Both. That's a trick question. Both.
No, I thought those were pretty just like little fun things to do, and yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was interesting, man. I couldn't. You can't have one without the other. It completes the story, so you got to have them both.
Yeah, I gave you a slot on this one. Next people that I play either or, they don't get the both option. so consider yourself lucky.
Well, I'm blessed and thankful. That was some good questions, man, and it was fun.
Yeah, no, appreciate you playing along there. Do you want to stick around for the crypto news and the Web3 gaming, or you need to take care of stuff at home? I'm good either way.
I'm gonna jump out in a few minutes, man. But I really appreciate you having me on, and shout out to everybody that's in Los Angeles and all the Los Angeles stakeholders. We're waiting for Upland to give us access to these city parks so that we can begin to bring the map assets onto the park. So we're gonna have a good time with it. Shout out to the builders, man. We're getting ready to have multiple structures on one property. So I'm not gonna take too much time, but that's exciting though, man. Multiple structures on one property. That changes everything.
Now, to me, I was already looking at the big properties and seeing what other service structures I could put multiples on. So I've already trying to make my own mini strips, my little strip malls going on already. I want to see. I want to see more styles of housing and apartments, especially apartments, the different styles of apartment complex before I start now, doing stuff like the brownstones, like Queen's got some cool brownstones that I'm looking forward to seeing how I can get those on the same property, because I own a few together, so I can make it really look like, out there. And so I'm excited for that. It's just, I hope to see more, they're rolling out the service structures. I really hope to see more of the typical buildings that you can build for your upbees, your different apartment buildings and different styles of the house, and just going there.
All right. So that's awesome, man. I'm waiting for new structures too. One thing before I leave, for the new people that's building your brand, I should have said this earlier. This is probably one of the most important things. Remember, a lot goes into a name. A name is important. So it's important to pick out your name. It'll stand out, it'll stick. And, people will associate you with that. To give you an example, my name is Elijah. It actually has a meaning to it. So if you Google search, what is Elijah? What does that mean? It means Jehovah is my God. And that's the truth. Jehovah is my God. So stay tight, love God, love your neighbor, and I'll talk to y'all.
All right. Thank you so much, Elijah. It was amazing talking to you as always, and we'll chat soon, my friend. All right. All right. The one and only Elijah, man. All right. I got through 2 guests in 40 minutes. So I'm 45 minutes. So I'm doing better than last episode. Now what I wanted to do last episode is go over some of the big news for the weekend itself. Before I get to that though, I did want to mention not prepared again. That's so first off, if anybody is interested in helping me prepare graphics for the show, I'd really appreciate that. So you're just not looking at me the whole time. That will be a big thing, is if somebody wants to help me out. I usually start putting the show together on Wednesdays and into Thursday with some last minute updates. But anybody interested, please reach out, send me a DM, and we'll get that going there. And then I need help. Yeah, if you want to help out with the show, just let me know. I got a couple other things that I'd like to get some help on. So just let me know. Send me a message in Discord or in game, and that works. Also, big news coming up is, if you don't have anything going on in September, we have the East Coast meetup in Philadelphia. That's going on September 12th through 14th. They have a Discord server. Reach out to Upland Terra or Das Mustang for that. It's the 2nd annual. They did one last year, so that's super awesome. Looking forward to that. And that's coming up here in a little over a month. And then we're also working on a Midwest update, and that's going to run in October. So if you're unable to make to Philadelphia in September, start planning for something in Cleveland in October. Working on the dates right now, working with Upland right now. And so, it'll be a good time. We have, the itinerary will be, there's a lot of ultra rares right there in a nice area of downtown. So definitely have some ideas there, some things planned out, some sponsors, and we will be getting the dates solidified. I got to revalidate with some venues that I had things scheduled with as the dates change. So we'll definitely, I'll keep you updated. Probably next week I'll have solid dates. Should hear back from the vendors if they're able to accommodate the moves. So definitely, if you can't make Philly, definitely come hang out with us in Cleveland in October. And the great thing about Cleveland in October is you don't know if it's going to be 80 degrees or you don't know if it's going to be snowing. I'm just kidding. It's not going to snow. I'm going to keep it towards the beginning to the middle of October. So you're either going to get a cool fall day or you're going to get an Indian summer day. So still be good. And yeah, it will be fun. BW Dog, the Jack. For the gamblers, the Jack is there. Yes, that is. There is a casino. We will be in that area too. So it will be a good time. So I expect to see WW Dog there. So, my wife's a Steelers fan. So if I live with one, yeah, Steelers fans are welcome. I'll go with it. I live with one, so I can't deny that. All right. Moving on. Some of the big crypto news that I thought was important that I wanted to share and say why it was important is, one of the bigger things is the landmark crypto bills that were signed into law this past week. Whether you're team red, team blue, or just team blockchain, it's huge news. We're finally getting some regulations and they are now law. I have not had the chance to read the full bill yet or run it through AI, but from the news articles that I've read about it, the things that I see good. And as always, this is not financial advice. What I see good about it is, we have some regulatory clarity. It's a step in legitimizing crypto and bringing in the next wave of mainstream users. And that's also the intent of the show. So I'm excited for that. And the institutions, as we're seeing in the stock market with these funds and with these hedge funds, institutions will start coming on board and entering the space now, and businesses might actually start accepting crypto again. It will still take a while, still early stages, but at least we now have laws and regulations that are out there better than what's been going on. Now, there are some concerns behind that. since I haven't read the fine print, there could be more taxes, stricter KYC, you know your customer for the people that don't know KYC, and less freedoms. This could provide short-term volatility, but I don't see that happens as the investors start digesting what it really comes down to and what's in the bill as they uncover it. And it can always, if the market gets volatile, it can always spook, the casual investors. But what I'm looking for is specifics around wallet rules, tax thresholds, and trading. Is there going to be trading restrictions? How Coinbase and Bitcoin adjust, and if their fees are going to change, and watching how Bitcoin and Ethereum move according to the news. So that was a pretty big story for us that I thought I would share. Another thing is Bitcoin is holding strong at 18,000 or 118,000, not 18, 118,000 post the Fed announcement. So the Fed did not come out and change the interest rates, and Bitcoin held steady. So that helps build trust. Ethereum surging, and it's getting strong signals across the majors. And the no hike rate is no panic selling. And that's very rare in the world of crypto if you've been following it for a while. Now, the downside to all this is, yes, we have the speculation that it will continue to grow, but 118,000 K is a heavy entry price. Yes, you can buy such small fractions, such small satoshis of it, which is okay. But if it stays in this area too long, people might go start chasing the altcoins, which could see a drop on it. Once again, this is just me speculating, not financial advice. And the Fed is still looking to move interest rates this year and into 2026. So that could still shake things up with the price. So that's things to watch for is, will Bitcoin break above 120 or will it be below 110? And will it stay or will it rebound? And then also how the altcoins are going to respond in this time. And we'll just continue to watch the Fed statement as they continue to do what they do there. Yeah, the report says, and I can find reports that say the other way too, but yeah, a lot of interesting things. And that's why I definitely wanted to share something that was out there that happened recently was the CoinDXC. They suffered a $44 million hack. Good thing is it didn't take the market. Usually when somebody got hacked for that amount, the market would respond in a negative way. But it also puts a spotlight on exchange security. Now, maybe we'll finally see better protection across the board. And it's hard to get the casual person into getting a hard wallet. So maybe this might start waking people up to that. So what's bad about it? 44 million disappeared. Trust in central exchanges took a hit. It doesn't seem like it was a bad hit. But it could also slow crypto adoption in India, which was a key growth market for them. So we'll continue to watch how they respond to it. And then if it pushes other exchanges to do anything, and will people start moving more to DeFi or still trust these exchanges? So we'll see. Now, that was my crypto news roundup for the week. The two big stories that I thought would be good. Now, from the Web3 aspect, from a gaming aspect, I found a couple articles that I found interesting. And you see, this is where it helps if I had some graphics. I could show graphics, so you're just not watching me go over my notes here. Shrapnel makes a major move to GalaChain. It's moving from Avalanche to GalaChain, and the reason they're doing this is they want to tap into China's 600 million player gaming market, and that aligns with China's trusted copyright chain. So this is a huge potential unlocking the Chinese players while staying compliant with Chinese regulation. And then Gala's cross-chain bridge allows the asset transfer without breaking the local laws, something other Web3 games, will probably pay attention to if this becomes successful. and they're rewarding Gala wallet holders with bridge badge NFTs and launching invitation only NFTs through Chinese influencers. So, and Shrapnel is like a legit AAA shooter, so a lot of money behind it. If they deliver, it could pull Web2 gamers into Web3. So, you know, excited for that, but things that could go sideways is just it's dealing with China, and the rules could change overnight. Even if they're following the rules today, tomorrow's a whole different story, and then it's game over. And then early Avalanche investors might feel left behind if the Sharp tokens doesn't transition smoothly. So that, I think, to me, that's my biggest concern there, is making sure when games like this switch chains is that the tokens transfer and there's no real big issues. So, but that's what we'll continue to watch, is the token migration and the marketplace metrics in China. And if you get games that are compliant with Chinese law, it can really help. And then Yield Guide Games is now the most followed Web3 gaming project on X. So that was kind of interesting to see the news on there. So it looks like they're building trust with the casual gamers in the US with the play to earn without paying up front, and their game portfolio is diverse and it spreads risk across multiple genres. And they're tightening the economy, extending the programs in favor of long-term sustainability. So wouldn't get too comfy, because this is the most follows are on X. There's a lot of other places out there where, you know, people follow and all that. So they have a volatile token, and the onboarding is still too complex with wallets, gas, and chains. It's a lot for new users. That's why we like games like Upland, that's a mobile and on the PC itself. And you have the ability to just sign up, and it's an easy onboarding process. And let's see, where am I at with time? 57 minutes. All right. So, yeah, I won't go into too much, trying to keep these around an hour. Other big news is, I know we had the UpX Podcast Fantasy Football League. We will be converting that to the 2Stupid4Web3 Fantasy League. So I will be reaching out to the players from last year, see if I have any openings, and I will let you guys know if we have any openings and if you have interest. Definitely don't forget to check out tomorrow night Upland After Dark. Where is my images again? And definitely support the other streamers. Everybody puts a lot of work into putting their shows on each and every week. And take a screenshot, share with a friend, tell somebody about what's going on. Yes, Drifter, I am looking, you know, as I started, it takes a while to get a hold of people and get schedules to coordinate. And I forgot to mention this in the first episode. Some, maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but some of the interviews will be live. Some of them I'm going to set up pre-recorded interviews that I will play during the show. So yes, we will have those coming in the future. And then, yep, we talked about taking care of those. We talked about, yeah, pretty much everything. So, oh, I didn't talk Upland. You guys were I sort of talked Upland with Elijah, but yeah, big things is the racing announcement. We had Mass Chef come on, talk about that. Racing and neighborhood ratings as we gear up for uppies. They're suspending neighborhood ratings, which makes sense as they're getting everything put together for that. The new service structures, they continue to roll out new service structures and I'm looking at this in two ways. As a new player, super awesome. We're getting all these service structures. They're going to help these neighborhoods. It's really helping these neighborhoods grow, and it's going to set us up for uppies. On the other side, as I was talking with Elijah earlier, I really want to see new buildings in Upland. So, you know, Hopefully that starts coming along, but yes. And the key is with these service structures, some people are going to own them all. Some people are going to go out of their way, and that's their thing, like mobile gamers that want to be the best. So they'll buy everything. You're going to have people like that. You're going to have other people that will take the calculated, like, hey, I can only afford this right now, and this is the cooler one, so I'll buy this. And that's okay, because it's not just you playing the game by yourself. You're playing the game with the community and how you're going to help out the neighborhood. Yeah, you're a chief executive, city. I don't have the police station because I'm not one, but yeah. But congratulations there, city. I have everything but the police station. I'm a sucker for it right now. And they're pricing them at fair prices. So it's not like they're outrageous or pricing you out of the market or making you really choose. So they're pretty decent prices in line with mobile games, which is good, except for you want to buy the stuff on the PC than in the Play stores because of the upcharge, but that's a whole different story. But liking the service structures, like how it's going, excited to see how it turns out. The other thing is Sparklet Wars PvE hits Chicago. It was pretty quick announced. But once again, you see the different servers with all the teamwork, finding the drones and finding where the boss moves. And I did like the fact that the boss is moving this time around, and it really helps the secondary market. Some people, they're price gouging, but that's okay. That's their right. And they take advantage of a situation, and if they get it, congratulations for them. But, and there's been some people that are doing decent markups that, they're 3-4x and X in it, and that's fine. And some people are just grossly going out of it, but there's no rules to follow, and that's okay. But just be careful if the price is relevant to the worth of taking on the boss. But yep, that's going on. And I've liked how this format rolls out, and they did discuss the uppies on the map, what it will look like, how they're going to show up, and how many uppies you have. Hopefully they change the property tile that the residents aren't right next to your purchase price, because I like being able to see how much my property's earning. I'd rather see the uppies under the more tab, but that's just me personally. And then Sizzle season starts tomorrow, and then you got to burn your passes so you can get the cosmic drops. And I did mess up in Genesis season. I didn't get all the passes, so I didn't get the bonus, and that's the first one that I missed on that. So yeah, absolutely, city. Working together in the PvE wars has been pretty fun. Yep. Awesome. All right. Well, that's this week. Once again, I had a good time, still getting in a groove of things, running the show by myself. And then I had some time. I think I carried the show. Let me know what you want to see from the show. Also, very open to suggestions. Let me know what's going well, and let me know things I can improve on, because I'm here to help make everybody just a little bit smarter than me. And as I said before, it's not that hard to do. Everybody be safe, have fun, and we'll see you next week.